What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the LV Raider 10 YouTube channel. Week number 2 was a tough game to watch, to be honest. Monday Night Football, Raiders versus Chargers. Let's just get right into the highlights.
Boise State Bronco lined up behind Smith. Expects to be busy tonight. They fake it to him, and Smith throws. Almost picked up. In fact, on a carom, it's into the hands of Dalen Henley.
You know this is going to be a Raiders type game when stuff like that happens. First play of the game, first pass of the game, tipped right into an interception. They can't get any more Raiders than that. Just the overall bad luck, I guess I would call it. Like the cloud that plagues the Raiders organization for whatever reason. Just the bad luck that the Raiders get. Of course, they give the ball right to the opponent in our own side of the field, so yeah, that's just terrible.
Dangerous throw, and on
the only pick that I would say I wouldn't put on Geno Smith too, though.
Carom
just loses vision as this receiver goes in motion. Watch that safety in the middle of the field. He's going to try to throw the seam ball fake, never locates him. He drives, and that ball caroms right to Dalen Henley.
Yeah, that safety, Alohi Gilman, I mean, that's just great eyes. This is really a hallmark and a trademark of zone defense. When you're playing in the deep third.
You think about Keenan Allen on third down. He's off to the left. Herbert's looking to the right, and now flips it short, incomplete. Trying to get the ball 100.
Despite the Raiders' offense not being able to stay on the field for the majority of the game, the Raiders' defense really did play well in spots. Obviously, they gave up some pretty big plays and some touchdowns here, but early in the game and trying to, get the team back into the game, they did well. Obviously, we let up a field goal right here, but we should be able to at least recuperate from just being a field goal down.
Career field goal attempt for Cameron Dicker. He knocks it right through. He's carried it 19 times. Didn't have a lot of opportunities before the Patriots defense was closing in. He has a crease this time and runs right over a man. He did that throughout his college career. Tougher to do at the league level.
And that run from Ashton Jeanty is exactly what I want to see continue, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, the Raiders just seem to refuse to want to run the ball. Like, I know we got out of New England with the win by not establishing a run game, but that can't be every week. We can't win on the shoulders of Geno Smith, and I think that this game completely proved that point too. So I want to see them give the ball to Ashton Jeanty. He's our 6th overall pick for a reason. I want to see him run the ball a little bit more.
Brings some pressure. Geno across the middle. Dante Thornton Jr., the speedster, the rookie out of Tennessee. Big, raw, strong receiver. Got ahead of Gilman. It's a 300-pounders up there for the Chargers. Pump fake. Geno launches down the middle of the end zone.
What are we thinking here? Double coverage to a shorter Trey Tucker in the end zone. That decision doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. There's no way that he could have possibly caught this ball. It just doesn't make sense to me. I want better decisions, especially from someone we know has interception problems this game, obviously. And I just want him to have, a veteran mentality. Let's move down the field methodically. Let's score points. That's what the Raiders need.
Threw it in harm's way again and coming across to break it up. Was 3rd and 7. Smith looking instead to the right, and he'll be swarmed and sacked. Khalil Mack.
Yeah, watch Derwin James is going to run a pick right at that tackle, and then this loop. Pay attention to Ashton Jeanty. There's that pick. Jeanty gets confused a little bit, and then it's chaos in the middle of the pocket. Great blitz design.
Yeah, how about that? A safety running a pick from one of the most feared pass rushers that this game has ever seen.
It's a 54-yard attempt for Daniel Carlson, well within his range. Be good at 50-plus, and it is so easy these days. It's incredible the quality of kicking in the NFL.
Thank the Lord for Daniel Carlson, because if we had any worse of a kicker, this score would be a lot more lopsided than what it ended up being. So, thank the Lord for Daniel Carlson.
Now it's Crosby. Lined up across from Pipkins. And ball
Great
fought
defense
for the
again.
sidelines.
Great defense.
Now, Raider fans on their feet on this 3rd and 15. Herbert escapes. Long way to go. Cuts it back, but he'll be brought down near the original line of scrimmage. Raiders from their 16. Fake it to Genty. Smith trying to escape. Stays alive and flips it short. And that's Mike Mayer, the tight end, who's able to create a little space there.
Give you no windows.
Got to find out where number 3 is on this 3rd down play. He's patrolling the middle. This is Bowers. And good open field tackle made by Tarheeb Still to stop him well short.
Chris, that's an incredible.
Herbert over the middle. And it's McConkey who's caught both of his completions so far. Found a little space there out near midfield.
Exactly what I talked about leading up to the game. Intermediate passes that seemed wide open in our secondary. That's exactly what killed us. And then eventually the deep ball, of course, on one of the touchdowns. But the intermediate passing game, I think, is going to be a problem for the foreseeable future, at least.
Such a great adjustment.
Herbert climbs the pocket but runs into traffic, and he'll be dropped for a short sack. Laulu got him. They just get it off. Check down. And the catch made. Short gain there by Keenan Allen. Allen to the left of the formation. Guarded by Kelly. Herbert was looking that way. Now he'll take off right up the middle. Raiders bring pressure. Herbert steps up. On the move. Scans end zone. A dart.
The one thing that you can probably knock Max Crosby on, if I'm being honest, is he never contains. He'll always go really high up the field, try to get a sack. And I understand it, but then it leaves the lanes open in the pocket. So the quarterback, especially like Justin Herbert, who has the ability to run and pass, to step up out of the pocket and find somebody who is honestly a Raider killer in Keenan Allen. He always seems to be open or has some kind of a game against the Raiders for whatever reason. But he's a veteran wide receiver. He's able to find that open space to get this touchdown here. But what I want to see the Raiders and Max Crosby kind of more specifically do is be able to contain the quarterback in the pocket.
Keenan Allen working his way in the back line, grabs it, and the Chargers jump on top. Polamalu is in coverage. 1, 2, no problem, and a toe drag to boot. On the end around, Trey Tucker squeezes through. Big burst, picks up 7. Good work by Tuipulotu. Broke the pass up. He had knocked Genty kind of off rhythm in the route. Zipped across the middle. Catch made by Jacoby Myers. He can fly, and they get some space for him. A huge gain.
He says he's 33, 34 years old, working like that. I can as well.
Smith, pressured again, escapes, has space. Geno Smith takes off. Says, I played 13 years, but I feel spry and young. Geno told her, hey, just keep trusting yourself. You're the number 6 pick for a reason. End zone throw, broken up again.
Right. Got to get Brock Bowers involved here.
Just one target so far tonight. Smith, he'll be sworn.
Do I even need to say anything about that? Brand new center, Jordan Meredith, snaps the ball right into his backside on a pivotal 3rd and 6 where the Raiders do need to score a touchdown here to get some kind of momentum. They're in the red zone, and that happens. That is just execution across the board that needs to be solidified. We need to execute simple things. Pass blocking, snapping, run blocking. The offensive line in total needs to just be better.
No chance as they brought the big man.
And sometimes centers, you put a guy over their head and they think there's so many different things. The last thing on their mind is the snap.
Daniel Carlson, 2 for 2 tonight, knocks it through from 40. Ball quickly out, and McConkey. They back out and play coverage on third down. Herbert trying to squeeze it in there. Johnson, but really nobody open. Huge play.
And again, our defense helps us get off the field. We get the ball back, try to go get some momentum. Our offense just, for whatever reason, cannot figure it out, and it sputters. The defense of the Chargers actually played a really, really good game, so I'll give them kudos for that because it was really schemed extremely well for this Raiders offense, but we needed to establish the run. That's what it really comes down to. We needed to establish the run.
You just feel it. It's almost coming. It's almost there.
Motioned out that time, and that's Mayer bobbled it but held on. Enough for a first down. Jeanty again. There's a crease. He's close. He's kind of like one broken tackle away from really busting loose. Third down here. We need 2. It's White.
This play right here pissed me off so much. Prior to this play, they line up in basically the same formation. The Chargers call a timeout to get bigger bodies in there because it was so obvious that the Raiders were just going to try to run up the middle. After the timeout, they come back into the same formation, same personnel. What do? Run right up the middle. With Zamir White. I want to see Ashton Jeanty get these chances right here. I believe way more in Ashton Jeanty's ability to get downhill, find a hole, and get those tough 2 yards to get a first down in a pivotal, momentum-changing type moment in the game than Zamir White on a pivotal third down. I want to see Ashton Jeanty tilt this rock. Don't know exactly why they didn't seem to change the play call. Why Geno Smith didn't change the play call at the line of scrimmage. And why it was even called in the first place with this personnel was Zamir White. I just want to see Ashton Jeanty tilt this rock. This play specifically told me that we were kind of laying down. And it sucked.
He's hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Great penetration. It was Naquan Jones. Henley got there. Chargers now backed up inside the 10. And there's a nice, easy pass to Keenan Allen who picks up 9. In less than a yard. It's noisy. And fighting through, breaking tackles. Hampton still running. The rookie. Well, he keeps mentioning the future gold jacket. And he talks about Mac almost with awe. Herbert launches downfield. It's Johnson in stride. Touchdown.
And then look what happens after that pivotal third down play that I just called out. Punt the ball. We get them in a really good position within the 10-yard line. They go down and they figure it out. They score the ball. And after this score, honestly, seemed to really deflate the entirety of the Raiders team. It just seemed like the deficit from this point forward was a little bit too much to overcome. And from this point forward, our offense just seemed to be way too desperate in their decision making, specifically from Geno Smith.
Chargers. Again, Lobby. He picks up a short gain to the 45. And stops. Smith on the move. Scanning. As he's seen a bit open, now he just chucks it way downfield. And it's going to...
Desperation. That pass just oozed desperation. There's no point in that. Find the first down. Find the person. There has to be somebody sitting down at the first down marker. And I don't know if that's because there was no veteran presence out on the field. Trey Tucker, couple years in the league. Thornton, 1 year. He's a rookie. Lobby was the back. That's his second year in the league. Was nobody just sitting down at the first down marker? That's what we needed. We just needed a first down to continue this drive. We weren't looking bad prior to this play. We just need to continue to move the chains, move more methodically, and then get to the red zone and score. That was also a big problem for this team in this game. Get to the red zone and score the ball. Score a touchdown, not a field goal. But this was an extremely desperate pass here.
Intercepted. Trying to find Thornton. Tony Jefferson stepping in tonight.
Is it now? We're not playing any more man-to-man. And you just see Dante Thornton trying to go up over top Tony Jefferson. Tony Jefferson's had a night so far. He's prevented a couple big plays down the field. Ball underthrown into double coverage.
Drew did broke up a play in the end zone that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, first
making
quarter.
a huge impact here. Right off that practice
double
and ready for
covered.
his moment here.
It doesn't make
if you're a
sense.
Raiders fan, that he's down.
Herbert finds Johnson. Yeah, but he's thrown the ball more than 10 yards.
I agree with Lewis. Got to run the football a little bit more. And then I'd like to see the tight ends, Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers, both of them on the field and get more involved in the pass game.
2nd and 11. They back out and play coverage. Herbert with a long throw in the sidelines, reaching back to make the grab is the rookie Trey Harris.
Just 5-yard voided spaces in the zone.
3-by-1. Johnson to the left. Bunch to the right. That's McConkey who works free. Proving just consistently hard to guard in the National Football League as he was at Georgia. Play fake on first down. Herbert is flushed and chased, and will just slide down a couple yards short of the line of scrimmage. Max Crosby. Raiders bring some pressure. It's picked up across the middle. Quick hitter there to Harris. Now Harris is going to be just short of the line.
Trying to draw him off sides.
Play action. Herbert down the middle. Caught. First down and much more.
Intermediate again. Keenan Allen again. Right down the middle of our defense. 4th and 2, a very big play. We need to get that stop. Especially in a game, a divisional game, that we should honestly be in more. The Chargers seemed a lot more dominant than I think that everyone expected to have them look, especially against a Raiders team that was coming off a good week last week as well, on both sides of the ball. So the fact that the Chargers came in to Las Vegas and did exactly what they did, that's not great.
Keenan Allen, 6 offensive linemen. Matlock in front of Hampton. He swarmed to the Raiders. Came right off the edge. I made a 3rd down stop. Jeremy Chin and Jamal Adams. Chip shot from Dicker. 3rd and 5. Raiders got to get this drive going. And they do. Squeeze the ball to the middle. Brock Bowers. Genty back in there. At the left side falls.
I think this is the drive. The 16-play, 11-minute drive that ended in a field goal. You take 11 minutes off the clock. You're down multiple scores, multiple possessions, and you end up with a field goal after taking off 11 minutes on the clock. That's horrendous. Again, we need to get into the red zone, which they end up doing at the end of this drive, and get into the end zone, not field goals. That was Geno Smith's biggest problem last year, was red zone interceptions, and that's been the story of the Raiders for, I mean, it feels like my entire fandom, where the Raiders get to the red zone and they have one of the worst red zone percentages in the entire NFL, and it seems to be continuing now.
Forward. Pressure comes, and the completion made. Brock Bowers. Take it to White. Flip it in the flat. Myers picks up about 11, and now all of a sudden a little rhythm in this Raider offense.
Yeah, they're just having to methodically march their way down the field. That's when you use a little deception and throw it.
Here's play action. It's a short throw underneath to Myers. Spins free. A couple of nice moves there. Takes the first down into the red zone before Henry.
What I will say positively is week in, week out, so far, Jakobi Meyers seems to by far our number one receiver. Every time he touches the ball, he looks absolutely great. Definitely, again, deserves the contract extension that will be coming his way. I believe he's going to be a Raider for a long term, and I really want to see him continue to do stuff like that. Pick up big first downs on third downs, for the foreseeable future, for the Raiders for the next couple of years.
18th play of the drive. Check down. White. Man, that escape. Just not much room. Not much room before the ball gets there. Not much room after the catch is made tonight. The Raiders just used 11 minutes of clock on that drive. Ran 18 plays to go.
18 plays, 11 minutes to end in a field goal to still be down 2 touchdowns at the end of the day. That's horrible. That is horrible.
62 yards. Play fake to Harris. And now throws it down to the running back, who used all that strength to get near the marker. Picked up 9. 6 offensive linemen plus the fullback. And they flip it down short. Najee Harris again receiving, spinning, and it's another first down.
And they're still looking for chunks. Brought the rookie Trey Harris in the game, and we're looking to see if they could get it downfield to him. And Najee Harris, 242 pounds.
Pressure does come. McConkey beats it. Oh, couldn't quite break free out of the tackle from Polamalu. Looking to throw for it. Has plenty of time. And, almost to a pick. He was trying.
I need to see that be an interception. When it's right in your hands like that, great play, to bring up fourth down, which I think they end up actually getting. They go for it and then end up getting, if I'm not mistaken. But that needs to be an interception. That's going to turn the tables. It gives us the ball right there in, I believe, midfield range. And although our offense probably wouldn't have done anything with it, that's still a huge, huge, huge thing that we need to, turn the ball over. And we end up getting a couple of turnovers here and later on in the game, but by that time it's just a little bit too late.
To get the ball to Keenan Allen, Jermaine Pratt closed that lane off. The offense on the field here, ball on the Chargers side of it. And they are going to run a play, but it's botched. It was an end around to Darius Davis, who fumbled.
My bad. This play happened. So they didn't convert it.
It, and the Raiders do get a stop. Kelly made the play. They'll take over at the 42.
Smash this ball downhill with your size. Sometimes you get too cute. It costs you. The Raiders still have life.
They do. Would-be carry. So Smith, can they get a spark? Can they make a downfield play? Spowers picks up about 9. Well, he's looking down the middle of the field that time, but the pass is high. Over.
Another just overthrown ball simply by Geno Smith. That would have been huge to connect with Jakobi Meyers right there, who was sitting basically in wide open land. Could he possibly have made a move on the safety if he got the ball? This might very well end up a touchdown. I believe in Jakobi Meyers' abilities to make a guy miss. This could be a turning point in the game. They have to connect, especially late in the fourth quarter like this.
The outstretched arms of Jakobi Meyers. 2 on third. Across the middle, catch made, first down. Meyers still running, down to the 15. Still just too quick, right around him. 3rd and 15. Pressure again, down the middle, end zone shot, Karam, and intercepted.
Again, this is not needed at this point in the game. Like, we need a touchdown. We don't need it to be forced into double, triple possible coverage for it to be intercepted. We need to score the ball, and I get he's taking a shot in the end zone, but we need to score the ball here. We need to score the ball. I just need better decisions, especially in crunch time. Just better decisions.
The carom, he tried to find Myers in traffic and picked up by Dante Jackson.
Seam runner. It doesn't get any better than that. He can match anybody in the NFL. It's just impossible to beat this guy when he's on his game. The reason why he could look back, because he was in phase, he's in control. It's just an all-pro play.
And Najee Harris falls forward. Herbert looking that direction. Oh, threw it behind Allen that time. Just off his hands.
Yeah, look in his face, though. He wasn't. That's a totally different look.
It wasn't joyful. It wasn't,
No,
I love the fact that he was so excited his parents got to beat the red. Well, they beat the red team.
Yeah.
Now they get the silver and black team. They could be off to a great start here if they can finish the job. That press is broken up. Far.
I think that, the fact that we were still in this game so late into this game, after the Chargers outplayed us on both sides of the ball, I think is extremely encouraging because the Raiders really beat themselves. They did not play well at all. The Raiders just played and executed their game plan to a T, and they got out with a win. They did exactly what they needed to do, and they won. And the fact that the Raiders didn't play their best game and ended up being this close this late in the game still, I think just shows the potential that the Raiders could have. And I think although this game was extremely negative across the board, I think overall you can look at it as a positive towards the potential that the Raiders could possibly have. But these are learning curves for a new coaching staff in a new city, a new quarterback, brand new wide receivers. This one to Dante Thornton. There's just a lot of components that need to learn to cooperate together and work in conjunction to make the Raiders the best that they possibly could be.
Time by Jackson. Tucked in the slot. Chargers don't bring pressure. Smith has time, but he's running out of it. And he's sacked. Dan Henley makes the play that should secure a Charger victory here in Vegas tonight. It's a huge loss. Hampton fumbles the football. The one thing you cannot do in this situation, the rookie.
Max Crosby is a beast. That's what I get from that play right there. Max Crosby is a beast. Possible defensive player of the year. You heard it here first. Possible defensive player of the year this year.
He coughs it up. Max Crosby, who else made the play?
Beats that tackle or that tight end. He gets inside the tight end once again, and that ball pops out. Ridiculous by Max Crosby.
Yeah, you saw Hampton bring his eyes up when he saw 98 closing in, and that's what led to the fumble.
Coverage is shaping.
But again, our defense gets our offense in a good position to possibly score the ball, to possibly do something, and they still continue to not do anything.
Up, gives you a chance at these chunks.
Sideline, Myers makes the catch.
Everything's hard. The coverage is constantly sticky.
Smith downfield tries to find Bowers, who tried to reach up and make a one-handed grab.
No doubt.
It was a PI.
Pete Carroll gesturing,
And he grabs his left arm.
watching that replay board.
That's pass interference. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just
that's
a missed
bad.
call.
That's a mess. Yeah. That's bad.
Play clock at 1. Smith spins out of the pocket, trying to create the move. Barely stays on his feet. Still being chased and just heaves it into the bench after all that. Nobody
Rushing the passer here, right there. Just watch him. He's going up against an offensive guard. He's wrestling with him. He sees Gino escape the pocket. Now just look at the effort. Just continuing to pursue.
And a win head-to-head is important.
Big deal.
Barreling straight ahead is Harris.
The chunk plays that they needed. Gino didn't have his best.
And that will do it. So, looking back at this game, I think there's a lot of positives possibly we can look at, but we need to make better decisions. Geno needs to make better decisions offensively. We need to not be so desperate with the deep ball and making big plays. We need to establish a run game, give the ball to Ashton Jeanty more often, because that's what we drafted him for, is to tote the rock, be a workhorse type back. That's what I want to see. And then defensively, they play great. We need to limit the big plays, especially the intermediate. I think that's going to be a problem, like I said earlier, in the future for this Raiders team, especially with a weaker defensive back room, corners and safeties. So I think that's something that we need to look out for. But I think our defense played really good. They really kept us in the game, especially late in the game, turning the ball over twice and getting our offense a shot to do something with it. But we need to be able to have a better, more balanced game. Like I said also earlier, we cannot just rely on the shoulders of Geno Smith every single week. We need to be able to establish a run game, and I think that's where most of the issues stemmed from in this game right here. But all in all, the Raiders played an okay game, but the Chargers just completely outplayed them every facet of the game, both sides of the ball, and they got in to Las Vegas and they came out with a dub. So, but we're looking forward to Washington this upcoming week. So let me know down in the comments below if you're ready for that preview. I should have it out on Friday. So Washington and Raiders, a lot of questions going into that game, but make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Raider Nation. Just win, baby.